You guys want some more rumors about the Galaxy Z Fold 6 and Z Flip 6? Well, I have them here for you in a two-parter. Today, we're going to first look at a tweet from a semi-reliable tech leaker, and then we're going to turn our attention to a South Korean publication called the Elec for something that I think is going to be especially relevant given what has gone on with my personal Pixel Fold as of late. But let's start with that semi-reliable leaker over here on Twitter, and I will continue calling it Twitter until the end of time. This is an individual called Crow, and like I said, sometimes they seem to get stuff right, sometimes they seem to get stuff a little bit wrong, but they tweeted this just the other day. Fold 6 camera, and then a little dash, and a little greater than symbol, and then S24. Now, you could interpret this a couple of different ways. I have seen publications say that he is saying that the Fold 6 camera is better than the S24 camera. And if you remove this little dash, that would be what that would mean, right? Fold 6 is greater than S24, but there's this little dash here, which makes me wonder, did he mean that as an arrow? And if it's an arrow, what exactly does that mean? Of course, we've heard rumors for a while now, actually, that the Z Fold 6 camera setup was going to be remaining basically identical to what it's been since basically, like the Fold 3 or Fold 4? I don't actually remember. It's not changed in quite some time. So this potentially flies in the face of those prior rumors. Do they mean Fold 6 camera and that it's pointing to the S24 camera, which is entirely possible, if not probable? Future Shane has to step in here for this quick re-upload, because in my mind, for some reason, I had Ultra in my head, and there is absolutely no reason to do that. And we have a comment here from Defallen Prodigy 969, who I think gets this absolutely right. He sees it as the Fold 6 having the same camera as the S24. The base S24 Ultra was never mentioned in that line. It's not even news because the Fold 5 had the base S23 system. And indeed, if you go compare these two, here is the S23 camera. Get a good look at those specifications there. And if we go to the Z Fold 5 and we come down to the camera, lo and behold, it's pretty much the exact same camera setup. So publications like this that are taking this to mean the Z Fold 6 is going to have better cameras than the S24, I don't think that that's accurate. I don't think that this is pointing in a new direction at all. I think that Defallen Prodigy 969 has this absolutely right, which is why I am inserting this and re-uploading this video. Do they mean that the Fold 6 camera is greater than or better than the S24 camera? Again, I find that to be a little bit hard to believe as well, but that's what they said. And I've looked through their replies, right? You can go through here and you can find going to May 16th when they also said that there's no Ultra version. Again, that's kind of, is that true or not? They have not said anything else about this particular tweet. I guess we'll call this a three-parter because they're going back to that Ultra phone tweet saying that it exists, but it's not sold due to cost issues. Maybe that's the case, maybe it's not. But at any rate, they've not said anything more about that tweet. So what does that mean? Maybe give me your interpretation in the comments down below. Part 2 of this, I said it was coming from the Elec, a South Korean publication. Samsung foldable phone ultra thin glass becomes thicker. Wrinkles appear to decrease. Now, we've talked about this actually several times. There was this patent that Samsung filed for something called Iron Flex, and this was with regard to their displays. And we had sort of speculated that this might indicate an improved version of the ultra-thin glass that they use in these foldable devices, and that Iron Flex would kind of indicate that it's getting more durable, and it appears as though this is exactly what we were talking about. Now, of course, if you've been following this channel, you know that my beloved Pixel Fold developed a crack spontaneously in the screen. It has finally been replaced by Google, so that is awesome. But that has put a little bit of fear into some people watching my channel that, oh man, these folding displays are potentially going to crack. And yes, they do definitely fail at a higher rate than a normal slab phone. So anything that can be done by Samsung to improve this ultra-thin glass is going to be very, very interesting to a lot of us. Let's look at this here. And you can see some information here. But what I'm going to do, because this is being translated from South Korean to English, is we're actually going to jump over to Android headlines because they've kind of done some of the heavy lifting for me, and they can kind of explain what is being said in this article. I will link to the original article as well as to this Android Headlines article so that you can see both. This is the crux of it. Samsung's foldable smartphones feature an ultra-thin layer of glass on top of a folding plastic display. Now keep in mind, Samsung does supply the folding displays for a lot of companies. I may be wrong, but I'm almost certain that the Pixel Fold uses a Samsung display. It's rumored that an upcoming Apple foldable will also use a Samsung display. So while this tech will hit the Z Fold 6, Z Flip 6 first, it may come to other devices after that. The glass layer, also known as UTG Ultra Thin Glass, makes the screen stronger than a normal plastic panel. This year's Z Flip 6 will reportedly feature around 70% thicker UTG panel. So the glass on top is going to be 70% thicker reportedly than before. As I say here, this upgrade should make the folding display substantially more scratch resistant while reducing the crease. If it's thicker, it's less likely to, as I said on the Elect, wrinkle, and that's something that we see on a lot of these folding displays. The OnePlus Open has a very wrinkled look to it. The divot isn't as deep, but there are several of them. I think wrinkled is a pretty apt term. One interesting point here is that Samsung will apparently use the same water drop hinge as its predecessor for this year's devices, with a new hinge for next year's Z Flip 7. Now, obviously, in all of this, the Z Fold 6 is not mentioned. They're specifically talking about the Flip model, and this is very interesting to me. Does this mean that the Z Fold 6 will not be getting this new improved glass? That would be very, very surprising to me, unless there is an engineering reason why that simply cannot happen yet. Again, that would be really surprising. It would kind of suck to see the Z Flip 6 get potentially much more durable, much less likely to scratch, and I hope much less likely to crack or break, while the Fold, the more expensive model, for whatever reason, has to keep the same UTG as last year. I wonder if there is some engineering reason why this thicker glass won't work on a larger display. Maybe some of you are engineers and you can come up with a good hypothesis for why that would be the case. If you've got the tech, you're going to release it on the Z Flip. Why hold it back on the Z Fold unless there's something different about the way that these two devices work that makes it not work well on that Z Fold? Of course, that is all speculation. It's what a lot of this is. It's a lot of rumors and speculation. But hopefully, it's entertaining and fun. Guys, let me know what you think about these two things in those comments down below. Again, I'll drop the links to everything in that description so you can check it out yourself. Subscribe so you don't miss out on more content just like this. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.